So, hello everybody, and welcome back to our reflections of hypnotherapy. So, hypnotherapy reflections from training to practice. And today we have Fang with us, and Fang only recently qualified as a solution focused hypnotherapy, but she brings so much to the field of hypnotherapy, and we're going to now explore her journey and maybe some unique insights, both from a personal point of view and from how she's now going to take a business forward and helping people. That what she gained from CPHT when she was training, and the powerful impact she's now found with using solution focused hypnotherapy and what it's had on her and her client base. So get ready for an inspiring conversation highlighting the
Mhm.
transformative power of hypnotherapy and the exceptional training provided by CPHT, which Fang has received. So, Fang, welcome to our latest edition. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. And thanks for
Thank you.
your invitation. It's my honor to join you here.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to let you introduce yourself fully because I never get your name right. So introduce yourself, what your practice is, where you practice from, how you practice. And then as
Mhm.
you know, I've got something like 20 questions to ask you all
Yep.
about how you're doing and what you do and where you came from. So,
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Yung-Fang Chen. So I'm from Taiwan, and people normally call me Fang or Dr. Fang if you want to. And then
oh yes,
I run
Dr.
my
Fang. I should
businesses.
call you that, shouldn't I?
Yes,
Dr. Fang.
that's right. Yeah. So my business is inner strength hypnotherapy. And then I just qualified in December, but I think I've been through a lot of practice. So I am actually really happy to be able to help people. I still have a full-time job. So I actually do this as a part-time base. So I
Oh,
do it
okay.
sometimes in the evening. Yeah, most of the time on Saturdays. But I
Yes.
think I'm enjoy the journey. And then I try to combine actually this hypnotherapy with my current job as well. So I think it's
Yes.
fantastic journey for myself.
Do you
And yes,
mostly
the
work online where you see people um, from all over the place?
yes, so I do online only now. I think at the beginning I was thinking I can do in person, but actually I find it's much easier, much better to do online because
Yeah.
I think clients they can find their own environment to make
Yes.
themselves comfortable, and it's fantastic. And I also because I do a lot of international clients, so it's
Yes.
easier for me to find a suitable time for them.
So you work internationally. Is that mostly in Taiwan or do you
Yeah.
work across the
No,
globe?
across. So I do have clients from Taiwan, most of them, and then I have them from Europe, and then there are some inquiries from America. I'm still trying to figure out the insurance policies, but I also have clients from South Asia. So I think it's pretty good.
Wow. So that's a real global business you've started to create. So I have a few questions for you
Okay.
because you are a
Okay.
doctor
Yep.
and you work at university during the day. So what's motivated you to pursue training in the
Mhm.
world of hypnotherapy? What motivates you to become a hypnotherapist?
Yes. So I think my current job is, as a lecturer in the university. So the doctor, not on the medical side, I'm the useless person in the airplane anyway. So what motivated me to be into this business is I really enjoy my job. But and then when we enjoy our job, we want to do everything. And I used to prepare lecture notes, emails, and supporting students, doing a lot of research every day nonstop until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And then until recently, I started to feel that I'm a bit old. I couldn't
Yeah.
cope. And actually, that was a time when I was so almost burned out. I was sent to the A&E, waiting for a doctor to see me. And then at
Yes.
the time, I was thinking, oh, I might be dead today. Or
Oh,
if I am alive, and then maybe I need to really change my lifestyle. So I think that is a point that I thought I want to do something different. So to help me to kind of separate my job and my
yes.
personal life. And then so I told my friend, my best friend Maggie, and then I said that I want to do something I like, and then I am interested in mental health, but I don't know what I can do. I want to just do something. And then at the time, she said, "Oh, actually, I'm interested in that as well." So actually, she started to look for information, and she said, "There are hypnotherapy courses. What would you think?" I said, that's all right, let's do it. And I actually had a look of the impact of hypnotherapy, and I think it's really good because that helped to support mental health and other things
Yes.
anyway. So I thought, yes, let's just do it. And I think that's where I start to enter this hypnotherapy
Wow.
stuff.
So again, it's
Yeah,
from a very personal reason. You started from your own, what you was feeling
yeah,
yourself, and then it's like, how can
yeah,
I be better at this? How do I get myself
of
better, and how
course.
do I support others?
Yeah, yeah,
So you said you work in the university and you
that's
lecture.
correct.
What is it? What is that? What you do?
Okay. So I am actually is a assistant professor in disaster management and emergency planning. I'm also a course director for MSc course in emergency
Wow.
planning and resilience. So it's very fascinating course. So actually,
Yes.
basically we train people to be able to respond to different type of disasters, natural
Yes.
hazards. So for example, earthquake, flood, or conflict, etc., and looking into how we can support the refugees. So it's a lot of things. And I think my job, I always feel that I can train people to be able to support people. And I think maybe that link to later that I want to be able to do it by myself. And now
Yes.
I'm doing it. So I think it's
Yeah.
exciting bit that it's not only stay behind the desk and I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, that's amazing. And there's a definite, even though they're miles apart, they are poles apart in one way. There's a correlation between helping people get mentally better as well as in that danger zone of when there's a disaster. So I could see
Exactly.
connection.
Mm,
What was it about
of course.
CPHT that
Yeah.
fitted for you? Because what solution focused hypnotherapy is different from most other therapies out there. So what was the connection
Mm,
that made it go, yeah, that's
yeah.
the right course for me? Because you work at a very high level.
Mm,
You use a lot of modern techniques in your day job. So what was it
mm.
about CPHT what struck a note for you?
I th Yeah, I think for CPHT, I did, when we were searching for the courses, Maggie did most of the work. She
Yes,
did the groundwork, and then she helped me to summarize some of them. And I started to look for different approaches. And I
yeah,
think solution focus is attracted me the most because what happened is that what I like is that we wanted to look forward. And I
yes,
am always a practical person. I want to see how can we solve a problem? How can we
yes,
make ourselves better? And I think that
yes.
is the thing that really attracted me because I wanted to
Wow.
see how I can help people to achieve what they wanted to achieve.
Right, and that really struck a note for you.
Yeah.
So what solidified that for you to, your decision to become a hypnotherapist rather than any other type of therapeutic approach? What was it that
I
helped?
think it's destiny. I need to say it's a destiny, and I think I think somehow it's as I say that I have been trying to help people to be able to help people, and then I just wanted to have more sort of practical elements in my life so I can do something. So I think one thing that my research intrigues topic is to develop effective pedagogies to be able to
Yes,
train people to respond to disaster better.
yes,
But then the thing is that I always trying to use a theoretical thing, although I deliver CPTs as well. And then somehow it's still behind the desk. And then I have research finding that if we actually train the people to
yes,
become relaxed before
yes,
running anything, they can
yes,
make better decision. They can have better situational awareness. And
yes,
then, but somehow we finish there. So, or I finish there because everything is written on the paper. I can see it, but I don't know what I can do. And then
yes,
so later, actually, I went to join the mental health first aider training. So I was
yes,
able to deliver some help with my
mhm,
students, with other people. But then still, I feel that it's not enough because that is we are very passively waiting
yes,
for people to come until they are broken. And I wanted to
yes,
see what can we do before they are broken. And
yeah,
then somehow this hypnotherapy really kind of strike me that I can do it because
yeah,
in the training we have in CPHT, we needed to already practice. And
yes,
then during this time, I already see the links between the theories and the
yes.
practice. And
And
I can see that I'm helping people. I make an impact. And I
so
think, oh
that
my God, that's
practical
great because
element of you working all the way through from day one of
yeah,
the course, you have
yeah,
to be
yeah,
practicing with live
yes.
clients. Do you think that really made a difference for you? That
That is, and I think that is also one of the decision I made to choose CPHT, because I think you have really good curriculum plan. It's progressive learning and then with a lot of support. I like the supervision session. I think like later I will talk about that as well. But then also these that we started to, oh my God, the first time I said, I need to have clients already, I'm still learning. But that really, it was real experience, but it's really good. And
But
I think, yes.
so normally we talk to people who've worked in some level of working with people within mental health in some ways, nurses and things who might have retrained. You've come from a very academic background. Have you found the elements you've learning to be a hypnotherapist and the neuroscience and a very modern approach to therapy, have you found it any use in your day-to-day job? Are you putting any of that into what you already do?
Yes, I think that is, I need to say that I didn't expect in the week 1, we started to learn the neuroscience. That was mind-blowing already. Okay. And then also, in the mental health first aid training we received, but it's not as in-depth as that. And then that kind of helped me to really understand human beings, our brains, and also how we can help people. And actually, I need to say, I started to revise, adapt my lectures using this neuroscience. And then I deliver that with our students. And then also I need to say currently I'm running regular base sessions, relaxation sessions with colleagues, with schools, and then so try to really actually deliver that important message of how to make sure our brain is healthy, and then really utilizing those theories.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm loving to hear that somebody who's been part of our training, and I know the lecturers, obviously, apart from me, have been working to train you, but you've been implementing that into the university courses to improve people's ability to learn and the way they learn. And actually, even some of the content is from a neuroscience view helping that. And that's just mind-blowing for me that we can have such an impact in such a diverse way. It's brilliant. So I love that,
And I think I like that new element to be able to integrate with my day-to-day job. So that is good. I'm enjoying better of my job even.
Yes. Yeah. So from you've talked about you was working so hard because you want to be so helpful that you ended up almost at burnout point by the sounds of it. So what do you do now to maintain that work-life balance between doing that full-time job, doing some hypnotherapy, and looking after you? And you said earlier that you're a mum as well, so that's a full-time job on its own, So how do you manage that? How do you now make sure you look after you?
I think the important thing I learned from the course is setting the boundary. I think we have the metaphor to talk about the boundaries. I do that. So I'm better in time management. So now I know that I need to have a structure sort of day, and then I have the work time, I have my exercise time, I have my family bonding time with my child, and then I have the hypnotherapy time. And I think for the business, I know clearly that it's a part-time job. I don't want to be really greedy. I set up a business plan of how many people maximum I can get. And I also wanted to set aside the time that I can do the promoting and marketing. And then also, of course, I'm so fascinated about this course. Currently, I'm doing a advanced level of hypnotherapy, the level 5.
Do the level 5.
So I need to, So and then I need to set up the time to write my essay as well. So really need to have very rigorous time management. But I think it's important because once you have that time frame, you know what you need to do, and actually life become easier because people ask me, how can you put in so many things? I said, because I know what I need to do at certain time. And actually now, and also now I have better sleep because I know the importance of the REM.
Yes. So you know the importance of each element.
So I'm doing it by myself, and then I do that, share that with my clients. So I think it's really good for me and my clients.
So one of the things which I saw in you, and you've already sort of said you're now doing a level 5, because I was going to ask you, how do you stay up to date with the new developments in the field
Yeah,
of hypnotherapy, particularly solution focused hypnotherapy, because we're
yeah,
so connected to the advancements of neuroscience? How do you make sure
yeah,
you're up to date and sort of like keep learning that
yeah.
new stuff?
Yeah, I think for CPHT you have a lot of CPDs anyway, and I really like that because it's very flexible. You regularly run you run on a regular basis, so for me it's
Yes.
easy to see
Yes.
where I can fit in. So I have done actually after I finished my course, I have done the neuroscience because I was
Oh,
so
yeah.
fascinated that I
Yes.
wanted to do more,
Yeah.
and I have done the PTSD because that is something my passion. I
Yes.
wanted to do more
Yes.
with my students, so I have done that, and I'm going to do the mindfulness soon as well. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
keep up, with all these CPDs
Absolutely.
and yeah, and also I think for the mental health first aider, we also have regular training as well. So that is where I just get, make sure that
Yeah.
I participate in any possible
Yeah.
training.
So keeping
Mm,
yourself really up to date with whatever changes. And
yeah,
I mean, the neuroscience CPD is amazing, and the lovely Claire runs that. I know
yeah,
how important PTSD is, something I personally
yeah,
specialize in, and we've now got so many
yeah,
people who've gone
mm,
through. And if you're working in that disaster
mm,
zone, sort of in your
mm,
teaching, that goes
mm,
hand in hand with that. So I can see why that's all so attractive, to understand how human behavior
mm,
fits with that disaster situation. So that's amazing.
yeah,
Um, so
yes,
you've worked globally, you've worked in some
mm,
unusual communities compared to some of the people, say, such as me, who've very much worked within my sort of local area, maybe. Um, what would you say sticks out as a story, what stands out for you from working with for clients, or something that was surprising or unexpected you've
mm,
experienced with clients to
mm,
see their change or growth? Is there anything that sticks out and
yeah.
massively impresses you?
Yes, I think we are working in different different ways anyway, because I think I work globally only because I used to do this environment. The experience I think I might be able to share too, if that's possible.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think the first one actually comes very early. So, we started to need to to practice since week one or
Yeah.
beginning. And then so very quickly, I think normally solution focus is pretty quick. And I think
Yes.
now I can say, between 8 to 12 weeks,
Yes.
you can see the impact. So I think among possibly in month 4 or 5, the first group of my
Mm.
guinea pig, yeah, almost finished their the sessions. And then so one day I just all of a sudden I get a feedback. And then she was saying that, your sessions really changed my life. I said,
Yeah.
really? I said, you're just helping me to practice my sessions. But I really changed my behavior. I'm much happier with my children, with my family, and I know what I'm doing. So
Wow.
it's much better. I said, oh my God, I'm
Mm.
just practice, but this is the impact I wanted to, and I'm really happy to see it. And then
Yes.
so that is a really amazing time for me to see actually I'm doing it great. And
Yes.
then so the second example is actually one of the clients come to me to say she wanted to do a weight management. I say, okay, good. So we started to do IC, etc. She has been great because she worked very hard to do it. She really report back to every week she achieved whatever she set up to do. And then, but what else is that? She said, oh, I am really on target also weight management, but then I'm really good with my friends, with my family. I've sort of my life, and then my work performance is fantastic. I said, that's
Mm.
really good. And I see that actually what I did, nothing. Oh, sorry, I do something. So I just help her to empty the stress bucket. And
Yeah.
I can see that actually the important thing is that we just need to empty their stress
Yes.
bucket. Everything become perfect. And I
Yeah.
think that is really the thing that I feel that I'm doing something good, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
that is what I wanted to achieve in
Yeah.
this, the training, and I'm doing
Absolutely.
it. So that,
There were so
yeah,
many second, third, fourth, seventh wins
yeah,
in we
yeah,
see somebody who wants to fix an area, but as
yeah,
a side effect, everything else gets
yeah,
into a great space as well,
yeah,
because we're all connected. And
exactly.
that's lovely to hear that, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
So you mentioned earlier that you're much better at setting boundaries.
Yep.
What self-care do you put in place? to keep you grounded, to keep you in good space? Do you have anything?
I do actually, because you know, I am fidgeting person. Possibly when I was in the school, you know that I'm always jump up and down. So I do regular
Yes, you're very
exercise with
lively.
yeah, thank you. You know, my student call me a machine gun because I talk very quickly, you know, but
Yes.
they understood. But so I do regular exercise. So we do, you know, like a body combat,
Yeah.
weightlifting, and then so in the weekdays, and I do park run. I think it's fantastic. I really want to
Yeah.
promote park run because it's
Ah,
free. Saturday morning,
yeah.
5K. You just do it. You just feel
Yeah.
that fantastic. You the weekend is gone, and then so and I have allotment. So I do grow things. I try to imagine that I'm semi self-sufficient, but I just enjoy the fresh air. And then in
Yeah.
the weekends, I take my child and friends out for walking. So all of these really kind of help myself. And
Yeah.
in the
That's brilliant.
evenings, yeah, and also I do the, you know, I listen to the MP3 as well. You know,
Yeah.
I found one of your MP3s online, so actually
Yes.
that's what I'm
One of
doing.
mine.
So yes,
Oh my
you
word.
it's still there. So I think that was possibly in month two. We found it, and then so I share with our you know, with our peers, so we know somewhere there is a recording of yours online,
Yeah,
and
well, you
then I
just have
just
to
listen
go
to
on the
it.
Inspired to Change website and you can
Yes,
download mine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and it's always free,
yeah,
as all of ours
yeah.
are, because it's so good. Oh, that embarrasses me slightly that you're listening to my voice at night,
Yeah,
but you
but
know,
it's pretty good because it's really, I think his language pattern really help to
yes.
settle and then to help to sleep. And I think that is what we need to do. You know, not only tell our clients to do it, we are doing it and to help
We've
help ourselves.
we've got to walk the walk, haven't we? So
Yeah, yeah.
one of the biggest challenges which people who've just trained or people who are training come to me
Yeah,
and ask of how to deal with is how to deal with skepticism, where people
yeah.
are skeptics of what we do, or there's
Mm,
misconceptions about what hypnosis is and things like that. How do you deal with it?
mm. I think you know, people have different opinions, and then what I learned is they can say anything they like, but what we
Yeah.
need to do is to respond to what we learn. And I think normally the neuroscience is important. We tell them this is what we are doing, and I think most of the time they say, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting, that's different," and I think that's normally
Yeah.
some the change in their mind. And actually, I
Yeah.
did manage to get some clients from explain these
Yeah.
science, you know, behind to them, and then they kind of, oh, okay, I can try that. So
Yeah.
that is important, really, to promote the scientific evidence to
Yes.
people.
Yeah, no,
Mm,
absolutely. And that's exactly what I would have said. There's no point trying to defend hypnosis because
mm,
if they've got an opinion, they've got an opinion. But when
yeah,
they say, oh, that's what you do, or is this how it works? So you go, well, no,
mm,
actually, let me tell you
mm,
the neuroscience behind what we do. It normally
yeah,
absolutely changes every
mm,
conception about it. So there's no misconception. So yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly the same. So
mm,
would you say, that you've had any personal transformations as a result of training as a
mm,
hypnotherapist, as a solution
mm.
hypnotherapist?
I think yes. In a way, you mean at the personal level. So I
Yeah.
think,
Do
you
you
know,
think
normally
you're a different person?
I'm pretty positive already. I think I'm very
Mm,
happy. But I think after the training, I've become even happier. Maybe that's,
wow.
I don't know. It's good time anyway. I'm happier. And then I think I set up the boundaries. And what is important is I learned that I need to look after myself better than I
Yes.
can look after other people. And I
Yes.
think that is the thing that I transfer myself. And now I build up these, I think, an element to my team as well. So I think I can see my team, they have that positive impact. They are
Yeah.
changing at the same time as my family, my friends as well. So I think that is the all positive for myself.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's brilliant. You know,
Mm,
um, is there anything in particular which stands out that where you've changed, whether it's in your relationships, whether you're schooling, with your friends, where you go, actually, I've noticed this aspect is I've changed the way I respond to this, or this happened. Is there any examples there?
I think possibly the good example would be me and my child. I think my child is really good. She's 13 years old. I believe that we always maintain very nice relationship. I'm very proud because I think she's super
Wow.
good. But and then it's only that I think because now she's in teens, so of course
Yeah.
she started to have very interesting rebellion behavior,
Yes.
and I think, but it's all right. I was there before, so I knew what happened. But the change throughout this course was that I learned to pause
Yes.
because I could be very quickly respond to anything that she shouted. I can shout it back. But what I know is now I just smile, listen, and I say, I love you. And would you like to share some of my power of love? Do you want a hug? And everything sorted because she just
Yes.
feel like she's defeated. And I think it's great because I learned to pause and
So
then learn to
in that pause, in our language,
yeah.
would you say that it enables you not to go into your primitive mind in that moment, so
It
you didn't react and you then was able to
it
respond from your intellectual mind?
Of course, I think because if we see those yelling and shouting as the polar bear, as we say, the threat, of course, we are going to have fight, freeze, whichever response
Yes.
we have. But no, because now we learn that we don't need to activate that mind. Yeah,
Yes.
we just utilize our intellectual brain and just say, yes, whatever you do is great, fantastic. We pause, and
Brilliant.
then we responded better. Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. So you mentioned
Mm.
earlier that you are doing the advanced course and you've
Yep.
looked at some CPDs, and I was going to ask you
Yep.
during your training,
Yep.
how accessible, how useful was the support from the lecturers and the mentors within CPHT that helped you,
Mm.
maybe guided you or helped you, and also
Mm.
what was the peer support like from your other people training alongside that? So, basically,
Mm.
was the support up to scratch? It's really important actually, because normally I'd ask this for everyone, but you're in a unique place where in your day job, this is your role. We swap spaces.
Yeah.
So how did you find the support
Mm.
at CPHT when you were training?
I think because in my university, we are pretty proud of ourselves as student
Mm,
support, and I can see the same value there in CPHT. So I think first of all is that in the training, always Saturday morning is the Q&A session. That is super important to me. I need to say that because I'm a lecturer, so I'm so tend to really tell people what is the best. You just do it. But
yeah,
then for solution focus, actually it's not because it is about the clients. They need to think about what is best suit for them, and then we support
yes,
them. But then that kind of changed my mindset of whatever I did, it's not really right here. And then the Q&A session really helped me to
yeah.
shape the way I can deal with my clients. So
Mm,
I think that is very useful. And then there were several times during the training session, I was crying because I don't know, oh my God, have I done something wrong with my clients? I emailed the supervisors. I could actually ring them, but I just decided to email them. They responded super quickly. And I think that is very supportive because they
yes,
know that we are there in need. So I
yes.
think that is a support. And then I'm from a very small cohort. I think we have about 7 people in my cohort,
Yeah,
but then
yours was particularly small,
yeah,
yeah. But we
yeah,
normally
yeah. But I
would
think it's
only
really
have
nice.
12 or 14, but yours
Yeah,
was particularly small.
but I really enjoy that because I have more time with supervisors. And then I didn't say, and then so with our group, we started very early with a WhatsApp group. So we support each other. And then so we talk about, the bed, no, not the bed. So talk about how we can complete our assignment, etc.
Yes,
Or if there are any issues, etc. We share the experience. But now actually we continue to talk in this
yes.
WhatsApp group as well. Yeah,
Well,
so
I was
which is
going to
really good.
how since you've qualified, have
Mm.
you found that peer support still connected and useful?
Yes, because then actually now we expanded it because now we are reaching out to other cohorts. So we have different WhatsApp groups, and then so we kind of share our experience and then also the challenges, etc. So I think it's really good because knowing that someone is out there, maybe having the same problem or
Yes.
they can share experience, that is super good.
That's brilliant. And did you find,
Yeah,
because you've come from many years as an academic, and you've now
yeah,
gone into the practice of hypnotherapy, private practice,
yeah.
did you
Mm.
find the support from your training and from the other people who were training you, who one of the
Mm,
things about CPHT, we're all working hypnotherapists, so we've all got
yeah,
our private
yeah.
practice. Did you find that useful, and the their personal experience, the lecturer's personal experience of how to run a
Mm.
business, and was that helpful to you?
It is very super helpful, I need to say, because as an academic, we do nothing for nothing. Sorry, we do a
Yes,
lot of things without any asking for money. But the
yes,
thing is that now, if I need to write private, it's totally different mindset. And I think for us, first of all, we started to practice at the beginning, and
yes,
then during the course, we have the marketing strategies. That is super helpful. And I need to say for my cohort, because it's a very small group, so we were very nice, cuddly together until very last few months, and then realized, oh my God, we need to do marketing, and that's kind of, oh, we need to do a lot of things. But then all the lectures, they share their experience of how to do marketing, how to establish business.
yeah,
That is very useful for me because I have no clue of what
yes,
is there. And I think my peers are very good as well because they also tell me about, yeah, you need to the steps how to set up a business and
yes,
the step of how to report tax, etc. Because these are the things I didn't need to deal with before, but
yes.
they are all included in the training course.
Yeah. How with the ongoing support since you've qualified, how have
Yep.
you found that support, and how
Mm,
simple has it been or easy
mm,
to move
mm.
forward if you wanted to
Yep.
grow, so, within the
Yep.
industry?
So I think one thing, because I joined the group sort of supervision method, so with you and other lectures, and I think that is pretty useful for me because you run regular basis with different times, so that suits my time really well, and then so I can see different lectures and I can hear their feedback, and what is important is that then I can also meet other hypnotherapists
Yes.
at different time, and actually now we started to have some ideas generating as well. So I think this is really good networking opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think that is kind of support
Was
we
that
have.
easy to do, to transition from a student into a practitioner, and getting that support? Was that simple for you?
um I think I wouldn't say it's simple. It does give me some time, scratch my head to see what I supposed to do. And also because I have the full-time job. But I think one thing I wanted to say is I always like to integrate different things together. And there was one time in the training that helped me to manage to see. So now I'm going to do this hypnotherapy business, but how am I going to work with the university? And you remember you have a research that you have done and you
Yeah,
published
I did
with
some personal
yeah,
research.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So looking into the impact of the hypnotherapy to the police, I said,
Mm,
oh my God, actually, this is really good because, if I do that, because what I wanted to do is to do the workplace stress management. I wanted to work with the emergency service, try to help them out.
mm,
But then I now realize actually, if I can also do similar things, to see the impact on the fire service, see the impact on other emergency service, or even with the students, that can be a really good sort of positive return to our solution focused hypnotherapy as well, because that
yeah.
will be a solid evidence in science.
So,
So I
so,
thought, well, that's fantastic. So, yeah,
so maybe we need to connect up about our next research project and see if it would fit
I
in
would.
what you want to do.
Well, I think that is a question I was going to ask. You might be interested to work together because I think I started to, make inquiries to some of the fire stations, and I think they are pretty interested in the idea. And I think I like to see, more of what kind of methodologies I can use, and or I can learn from you to see,
Yeah.
what is the best way to
But it
evaluate that
is there.
impact.
It is there, so we could
Mm,
definitely share that
mm.
with you. And
Fantastic.
maybe that would
Mm.
grow to be more. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. I think so. And I think I'm really excited about that. And I think that is really the time like, oh yes, I really make that integration. And I feel that it's much easier for me to run my full-time and part-time job. So I don't feel any sort of, I don't know, the barrier or something. And I know I need to continue to grow the business. I know that I need to continue
Yeah.
to do the marketing, but I think it's all right because, I have the goal, I have something I wanted to achieve. So I'm really happy in
So
this position.
so what's if you shared just one highlight
Right.
from your learnings,
Yep.
what was the thing, anything, what stuck out for
Yeah.
you, highlight of your learning when that was amazing.
I need to say too, I'm greedy, always two. So the first one, I think you might remember. So in the first weekend, the first week module. So I just came back from a field trip. I think you remember that I was exhausted, and because I
Yes.
landed in the UK later. I went home at 3 o'clock. I need to be in the morning. I need to be in the classroom in 10 o'clock. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But then I learned about neuroscience, etc. And at the end, we had a trance.
Mm.
That is really mind blowing because I don't know, right? Then sleeping is important, but what is, I don't know. But then I was lying there. I think I got a special permission. I could lie down on the floor in the classroom because I was so exhausted. Then I really had a really, really relaxed time. And I think possibly that was a long time that I had that feeling. And I still, if I could bring this feeling to my clients, I'm successful already. And I think that is the first time I have mind blowing that I say, yes, this is a course. I wanted
Yeah.
to do this. I
Wow.
think that is one thing. And then the second time, it was there was a one module we are looking into the miracle question, and I always like to volunteer, so I volunteered to be asked. And
Yeah.
then so I remember that was I needed to really sort of my the receipts from all the trips I had. I need to claim my money back, but I just feel I don't want to do this. But then I just utilize the chance to say, right, I'm going to do this tomorrow morning, Monday, and then to
Yeah.
really started to report all the receipts, and then I can get my money back. And you know what? On Monday, 10 o'clock, there's no hustle, there's no fucking about. Bring up the pile of receipt, start to enter, computing it, and I can see, oh my God, I don't know what's happening, but I'm doing it. I
Yeah.
have put this pile like a month. I never wanted to do it. And I say, if I can bring this to my clients, that is really something I can achieve for them,
Wow.
because then they can achieve whatever they wanted to do. I'm doing already automatically, not like,
Yeah.
something. So I
So
think
so
these are the
those
mind blowing for me.
those two things were
Yeah.
how not so much what you learned, but also what you witnessed. You did learn it, but you actually felt it
Yeah,
yourself. It worked for you, and that gave you
it
that
is.
confidence. So,
Yes.
what advice would you give somebody who's considering training in hypnotherapy?
Mm. I think just follow the curriculum. Just put yourself out there, just practice. And I think we CPHT has really structured way to work
Yeah.
with clients. Stick with that structure because that works, and I can see
Okay.
it because
So
when
what
we
about people who are just considering it? Maybe I'll train in hypnotherapy. Maybe I'll look at
mm,
all the different options available, whether it's
mm,
counseling, hypnotherapy. What would you say to
mm,
someone who is
mm.
just thinking about that's a nice idea? I might do that.
I think stick with solution focus because
Mm,
there is no point to look back. I
mm.
think for me is that there is no point to look back of what happened before because it's gone. We are dealing with that already. We don't need to
Yes.
remind ourselves so
Yes.
many times, and we don't need to go back to our previous life because we don't live previous life. So it's really about what we want to become. And I think if we can see the impact of our therapy to other people, I think that might be the choice that they can choose.
So just do it and choose
Yeah.
solution focused. Fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
So I emailed you all the questions, but as you may have heard from all the other people, I have one
Yeah.
question which I didn't tell you I was going to ask you.
Yes, I know. I found. What is the question? Show me.
So you're very clever and you've done lots and lots of different things and you've done it. But if you could instantly master another skill or field which to complement your hypnotherapy, so nothing you've already ever done, but something you could instantly be great at, what would it be and why? To complement what
Hmm.
you do as a therapist.
You mean the? Can you say like the sequence just a
What
breakdown? If
skill,
something,
what
yes.
skill
Hmm.
or field would you like to be instantly a master of from never touching it? Like you've never played for England football team, but tomorrow you're the best footballer in the world,
Hmm.
right? But it needs to complement your way you help your clients. So what skill would you choose to instantly become a master of?
That's very difficult. I remember, during lockdown, we had a lot of work with my daughter, and then she asked me all these questions. And I think there were different options, like, do you want to become better in speed, or do you want to be able to travel across
Yes.
space, or do you want
Yeah.
to be able to go back to time, etc.? I think
But
they
this
are.
is no options. It's anything you want, but it's got to
Mm,
help your hypnotherapy clients or you as a hypnotherapist. What skill would you like to have?
I think for myself, I like to be able to understand people even better. I
Okay.
think sometimes also because of
What
my
skill would
background,
what skill would that be?
mind reading, so understand people.
You'd like
So
to be a mind reader. Amazing. Why?
I think only because it's really actually the journey I have
Yeah.
that realizing I am not a very people person
Mm.
because I'm so focused on my research, so focused on what I want to achieve. And then I ignore a lot of small signals of people. And I like to be able to pay more attention to these small signals so I can understand them better.
Yes.
And
So
I
you'd
think
be
that
better at
that would be
reading
very,
people.
yeah. And I think for this helping to understand people better also help me with the therapy because
Yes.
I also learned that we have different personalities. I
Mm.
know I'm very outgoing, but when I see someone who is more introvert, I miss a lot of
Yes.
evidence and I want to be able to pick up all these small
Yeah.
subtle things. Then I may bring up better therapy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. So
Mm,
to finish off then, I,
mm.
how do you know how do people find you? So what's the name of your business? Say it slower so we can get it.
Okay.
And how can you be found? You know, what social media can they find
Mm,
you? What
mm.
website? You know, things like that. Let's find out how
Okay.
people get you.
So I am a very slow person, so I haven't got a website, and I think I rely a lot on the word of mouth. But I do have Facebook page and I do have Instagram page. So it's all about my business name. So it's Inner Strength Hypnotherapy. So
Yes,
Inner
inner
Strength
strength,
Hypnotherapy. Yeah.
inner strength
Hip,
hypnotherapy, and that's
yeah.
on Facebook and on Instagram.
That's right. And I think I can also post them under the YouTube link you are going to post so
Yes,
they can click there. So
yeah,
click like and follow. Thank you.
yes, absolutely. So I'll make sure it's also in the bio and everything. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic. So thank you
Thank you.
very much for today, and
Thank you very much.
we'll get that posted as soon as possible. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thanks a lot for your invitation. It's really enjoyable to be able to share my experience. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.